Hi guys, it is Miss Holly and I am here for a special 1950s themed story time for the library's 100th birthday this year. So let's get started with our hello song. All right, so this song goes to the tune of London Bridges Falling Down. Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you? How are you? Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you today? Hi, hello, and clap your hands. Clap your hands, clap your hands. Hi, hello, and clap your hands. Clap your hands today. Hi, hello, and stomp your feet. Stomp your feet. Stomp your feet. Hi, hello, and stomp your feet. Stomp your feet today. All right, so that is the hello song. This first book is one of my favorites when I was a little girl, actually, but it is called Harold and the Purple Crayon by Crockett Johnson, and it was published way before I was born in 1955. So let's get started. One evening, after thinking it over for some time, Harold decided to go for a walk in the moonlight. There wasn't any moon, and Harold needed a moon for a walk in the moonlight, and he needed something to walk on. He made a long, straight path so he wouldn't get lost. And he set off on his walk, taking his big purple crayon with him. But he didn't seem to be getting anywhere on the long, straight path. So he left the path for a shortcut across a field, and the moon went with him. The shortcut led right to where Harold thought a forest ought to be. He didn't want to get lost in the woods, so he made a very small forest with just one tree in it. Just this one. It turned out it was an apple tree. The apples would be very tasty, Harold thought, when they got red. So he put a frightening dragon under the tree to guard the apples. It was a terribly frightening dragon. It even frightened Harold. He backed away. His hand holding the purple crayon shook. Oh no. Suddenly he realized what was happening. But by then Harold was over his head in the ocean. What is he doing? He's drawing an ocean because his hand is shaking. He came up thinking fast, and in no time he was climbing aboard a trim little boat. He quickly set sail, and the moon sailed along with him. After he had sailed long enough, Harold made land without much trouble. He stepped ashore on the beach, wondering where he was. The sandy beach reminded Harold of picnics, and the thought of picnics made him hungry. So he laid out a nice, simple picnic lunch. There was nothing but pie, but there were all 9 kinds of pie that Harold liked best. Pie for lunch. When Harold finished his picnic, there was quite a lot left. He hated to see so much delicious pie go to waste. So Harold left a very hungry moose and a deserving porcupine to finish it up. And off he went, looking for a hill to climb to see where he was. Harold knew that the higher up he went, the farther he could see. So he decided to make the hill into a mountain. If he went high enough, he thought he could see the window of his bedroom. He was tired and he felt he ought to be getting to bed. He hoped he could see his bedroom window from the top of the mountain. The mountain's higher than the moon. But as he looked down over the other side, he slipped. And there wasn't any other side of the mountain. He was falling in thin air. But luckily, he kept his wits and his purple crayon. He made a balloon and he grabbed onto it. And he made a basket under the balloon big enough to stand in. He had a fine view from the balloon, but he couldn't see his window. He couldn't even see a house. So he made a house with windows, and he landed the balloon on the grass in the front yard. None of the windows was his window. He tried to think where his window ought to be. He made some more windows. He made a big building full of windows. He made lots of buildings full of windows. He made a whole city full of windows. But none of the windows was his window. He couldn't think of where it might be. He decided to ask a policeman. The policeman pointed the way Harold was going anyways, but Harold thanked him. And he walked along with the moon, wishing he was in his room and in bed. Then suddenly Harold remembered. He remembered where his bedroom window was when there was a moon. It was always right around the moon. Then Harold made his bed. He got in it and he drew up the covers. The purple crayon dropped on the floor and Harold dropped off to sleep. And that is the end of Harold and the purple crayon. All right, so we're going to do a flannel story this time around, and it is The Old Lady Who Swallowed a Fly, which got really popular in the 50s as well. There was an old lady who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. There was an old lady who swallowed a spider. It wiggled and wiggled and jiggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. There was an old lady who swallowed a bird. I don't know why she swallowed a bird. How absurd to swallow a bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the spider that wiggled and jiggled and wiggled inside her. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. And I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. There was an old lady who swallowed a cat. Fancy that, she swallowed a whole cat. She swallowed the cat to catch the bird, and she swallowed the bird to catch the spider that wiggled and jiggled inside her. And she swallowed the spider to catch that fly, and I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. There was an old lady who swallowed a dog. What a hog to swallow a dog. She swallowed the dog, of course, to catch the cat. And she swallowed the cat to catch the bird. She swallowed the bird to catch the spider that wiggled and wiggled inside her. So she swallowed the spider to catch the fly. And I don't even know why she swallowed the fly, but perhaps she'll die. There was an old lady who swallowed a goat. She opened her throat and in walked your goat. She swallowed the goat to catch the dog, and she swallowed the dog to catch the cat, and she swallowed the cat to catch the bird, and she swallowed the bird to catch the spider that wiggled and wiggled inside her, but she swallowed that spider to catch the fly, and I don't even know why she swallowed this fly, but perhaps she'll die. There was an old lady that swallowed A cow. I don't know why she swallowed this cow or how, but she swallowed the cow to catch the goat, and she swallowed the goat to catch the dog, and she swallowed the dog to catch the cat, who she swallowed to catch the bird, who she swallowed to catch the spider that wiggled and jiggled and wiggled inside her, who she swallowed to catch the fly, and I don't really know why she swallowed the fly, but perhaps she'll die. There was an old lady who swallowed a horse. She's dead, of course. So this book is No Roses for Harry, and it is by Jean Zion, and the illustrations are by Margaret Bloy Graham. And it came out in 1958. So Harry was a white dog with black spots. On his birthday, he got a present from Grandma. It was a woolen sweater with roses on it. Harry didn't like it. From the moment he saw it, he didn't like the roses. When he tried it on, he felt cozy and snug, but he didn't like the roses. He thought it was the silliest sweater he had ever seen. The next day, when Harry went downtown with the children, he wore his new sweater. When people saw it, they laughed. When dogs saw it, they barked. Harry made up his mind then and there to lose Grandma's present. When they went into the big store to shop, the children took off his sweater and let him carry it. This was just what Harry wanted. First, he tried to lose it in the pet department. But a man found it and gave it back. Then he tried to lose it in the grocery department. But a lady found it and gave it back. He tried to lose it in the flower department. What's going to happen? But a little boy found it and gave it back. The children didn't let Harry carry it anymore. They made him wear it. As they started home, Harry was beginning to think he would never lose it. When he got home, his friends were waiting to play with him, but Harry didn't feel like playing, so they left him alone. As he sat, wondering what to do, Harry noticed a loose stitch in his sweater. He pulled at the wool just a little bit first, then a little bit more, then a little bit more. Harry didn't know it, but a bird was watching. Do you guys see the bird? Way up here. In a minute, Harry had pulled out quite a long piece of the wool. The end of it lay in the grass behind him. Suddenly, the bird flew down. Quick as a flash, she took the end of the wool in her beak and flew away with it. It all happened before Harry could even blink. The sweater began to disappear right before Harry's eyes. First one leg, then the neck, then the other leg, then the back, and finally, the whole thing was just one long piece of wool flying off into the sky. The sweater was gone. Harry could hardly believe it. He barked and jumped with joy. Then he ran out of the yard. He ran down the street barking "thank you" to the bird over and over again. The bird and wool were just a tiny speck in the sky, but Harry kept following them. He came home thirsty and tired and was having a drink in the kitchen when the children ran in. "We got a letter from Grandma," one of them said. "She's coming to visit us," shouted the other. Harry thought of the sweater, and his tail drooped. Before Grandma came, the family looked everywhere for the sweater. They wanted her to see how nice Harry looked in it. Of course, they couldn't find it, and only Harry knew why. When Grandma arrived, Harry ran to her with his leash. Then he sat up and begged. All right, Harry, said Grandma. After I've had my lunch and a nap, we'll go for a walk. That afternoon, Harry and Grandma and the children started off on their walk. Harry barked happily and pulled towards the park. When they got to the park, Harry pulled harder. The children let him off his leash and he ran ahead. He seemed to be looking for something. All at once, he stopped under a big tree. He looked up and began to bark and wag his tail. Grandma and the children came running. They got to the tree and looked up. Suddenly, one of the children said, "I see a nest." "It's made of wool," said the other, "and it's the very same color as Harry's sweater," they shouted together. "It is Harry's sweater," exclaimed Grandma. Just then, a bird looked out of the nest. "Look, Grandma, look," shouted the children. "Harry gave his sweater to a bird." "I wonder how he did that," said Grandma. The bird sang and Harry wagged his tail even harder. Christmas, Harry got a new present from Grandma. It was a brand new sweater. Harry liked this one very much. When he tried it on, he felt cozy and snug, just like the bird in the nest. But best of all, it was white with black spots, just like Harry. And that is the end of No Roses for Harry. All right, so we're going to sing a song together this time, and it is called "The Farmer and the Dell." So you might know the lyrics to this one. It's a really old song, but it got really popular again in the 1950s because there was a toy that was sold that played the song aloud. So let's sing it together. The farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell, hi ho the dairy-o, the farmer in the dell. The farmer takes a wife, the farmer takes a wife, hi ho the dairy-o, the farmer takes a wife. The wife takes a child, the wife takes the child, hi ho the dairy-o, the wife takes the child. The child takes the nurse, the child takes the nurse, hi ho the dairy-o, the child takes the nurse. The nurse takes the cow, the nurse takes the cow, hi ho the dairy-o, the nurse takes the cow. What does the cow take? The cow takes the dog, the cow takes the dog, hi ho the dairy-o, the cow takes the dog. The dog takes the cat, the dog takes the cat, hi ho the dairy-o, the dog takes the cat. The cat takes the mouse, the cat takes the mouse, hi ho the dairy-o, the cat takes the mouse. And the mouse takes the cheese, the mouse takes the cheese, hi ho the dairy-o, the mouse takes the cheese. And what does the cheese do? Well, the cheese stands alone, the cheese stands alone, hi ho the dairy-o, the cheese stands alone. All right, so this next book is called A Tree is Nice, and it is by Janice May Udry, and the pictures are by Mark Simnott. And it was published in 1956, and then in 1957, it won the Caldecott Award. All right, so trees are very nice. They fill up the sky. They go beside the rivers and down the valleys. They live up on the hills. Trees make the woods. They make everything beautiful. Even if you have just one tree, it is nice too. A tree is nice because it has leaves. The leaves whisper in the breeze all summer long. In the fall, the leaves come down and we play in them. We walk in the leaves and roll around in the leaves. We build playhouses out of the leaves, then we pick them up with our rakes and have a bonfire. A tree is nice because it has a trunk and limbs. We can climb the tree and see over all the yards. We can sit on a limb and think about things or play pirate ship up the tree. If it is an apple tree, we can climb it to pick apples. Cats get away from dogs by going up trees. Birds build nests in trees and live there. Sticks come off trees too. We draw in the sand with sticks. A tree is nice to hang a swing on, or a basket of flowers. It is a good place to lean your hoe while you rest. A tree is nice because it makes shade. The cows lie down in the shade when it is hot. People have picnics there too, and the baby takes his nap in his buggy in the shade. A tree is nice for a house to be near. The tree shades the house and keeps it cool. The tree holds off the wind and keeps the wind from blowing the roof off the house sometimes. A tree is nice to plant. You dig the biggest hole you can and put the little tree in. Then you pour in lots of water and then the dirt. You hang the shovel back in the garage. Every day for years and years, you watch the little tree grow. You say to people, I planted that tree. They wish they had one, so they go home and they plant a tree too. And that is the end of A Tree is Nice. All right, so I always think it's cool to learn about some of the other children's books that came out each decade. So one of the most popular books from the 50s is, you probably know it today still, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the Chronicles of Narnia series by C.S. Lewis. This one is copyright 1950, exactly. And it is still popular today. There's a movie, everyone loves it. And what else have we got here? Looks like we have Eloise, Eloise at the Plaza. That is a pretty famous series. I think there's also movies of this as well, but this is from 1955. Then I have Anatoly. It's not as popular as Eloise, but it won a Caldecott medal, and it is from, what is it, from 1956. It's a really cute book about Anatoly the mouse up here. And then this book here, it was a whole series. You might know this one too. It is called The Borrowers, and it is from, let's see, 1952. And she continued to write these series throughout the 50s. There's way more than just one. And our final one you probably know of, just because the author, she recently passed away, but she's a beloved author, Miss Beverly Cleary. Bezus and Ramona, let's see, when did it come out? I know it's sometime in the 50s, 1955, right in the middle. So that's when she started her Ramona series in the 50s, and she doesn't stop. She just keeps going all the way until this year, basically. So those are some of the most popular books that came out in the 1950s that are still with us today. This book is called Frog Went A-Courtin', and it was written by John Langstaff, and the illustrations are by Fyodor Rozhankovsky. All right, so Frog went a-courtin', he did ride, sword and pistol by his side. When upon his high horse set, his boots they shone as black as jet. He rode right up to the mouse's hall, where he most tenderly did call, "O Mistress Mouse, are you within? Yes, kind frog, I sit to spin. He took Miss Mousie on his knee. Pray, Miss Mouse, will you marry me? Without my Uncle Rat's consent, I would not marry the president. Then Uncle Rat, he soon comes home. Who's been here since I've been gone? A pretty little dandy man, says she, who swears he wants to marry me. Where will the wedding breakfast be? Way down yonder in a hollow tree. What will the wedding breakfast be? 3 green beans and a black-eyed pea. Who will make the wedding gown? Old Miss Rat from Pumpkin Town. Then Uncle Rat gave his consent, and that's the way the marriage went. The first to come in was a little white moth to spread on the tablecloth. Next to come in was a big black bug. On his back was a cider jug. Next to come in was Mr. Coon, waving about a silver spoon. Next to come in was a spotted snake, passing round the wedding cake. Next to come in was a bumblebee, a banjo buckled on his knee. Next to come in was a nimble flea, to dance a jig for the bumblebee. Next to come in was an old gray goose. She picked up her fiddle and she cut loose. Next to come in were 2 little ants. Fixin' round to have a dance. Next to come in was a little old fly. He ate up all the wedding pie. Next to come in was a little chick. He ate so much it made him sick. The last to come in was old Tom Cat. He says, I'll put a stop to that. Oh my God. Look at this cat. And that's the end of Frog Went A-Courtin'. 50s were a weird time, and I don't think I told you when this was published, so let's take a look here. 1955, a lot of books came out right in the middle of the decade, so that was Frog Went A-Courtin'. All right, so that's the end of our special 1950s story time for the library's 100th birthday. And we're gonna sing our goodbye song to the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And my little friend here that's gonna help sing is a cow. You might remember him from before, but let's get started. Hands go up and hands go down. I can turn around and round. I can jump up on 2 shoes. I can clap and so can you. I can wave, I'll show you how. Story time is done for now. Bye everyone.